Today's talk is Rob Berk, the founder of Pinball Expo, as well as the Guinness Book World Record holder of the largest collection of individual pinball machines, owner, operator of Pastimes Arcade in Girard, Ohio, a man of many talents, man of many hats. First of all, thank you, Rob, for joining me this afternoon for this conversation. It's a pleasure to have you on.
Yeah, we're glad to be here, man. It's always good to hear the cool toys man in action.
So today's main topic of discussion, we're talking Pinball Expo 2025. So last year was a big to-do. It was the 40th anniversary. First and foremost, how do you think it went?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I would say the best way of describing it is explosive. I just didn't know what to expect. 40 years of working on the same show, same promoter, just crazy. How can someone be involved so long? But we pulled it off, and I think it exceeded everyone's expectation. There was so much warmth in the air and high fiving and hugging and smiling, and it was all good. There was nothing but good came out of it, and we had a fantastic international attendance, which I never expected to be so great. So that was exciting for me. But all in all, it was a pleasure. And you know what? The craziest thing is, after the 40th, my wife said, "What are you going to do? You going to keep going or not?" And I said, after the 40th, there was so much energy in the air and excitement. It would be a shame to stop it. So who knows how long it'll go? If I were to step down tomorrow and someone else took it over, it would never be the same. They don't have the contacts, and probably they don't even have the passion. 40 years of putting this together, plus all the years that built up to putting it together. So
Absolutely. 40 years is
still
a
here.
monumental achievement. So
It's crazy.
again,
I mean, how old are you?
I'm literally 40 years.
All right,
Exactly.
so
So
when you were just born, I said I'm going to have that show just for Doug.
yeah,
But
I appreciate it. And I'm glad you're still going because like your wife mentioned, 40, nice round number. I can see, that being your right off into the sunset moment, but I'm glad to hear you're sticking around and you have no immediate plans for, turning it away.
for me though, it's not only the love of the industry, but just I'd like to see people just get off of the show and enjoy it themselves. Everyone meeting everyone else. To me, what's probably more fun for me is the connection with the international guys.
So what can we expect this year that was maybe a little different from last year? Anything new? Anything exciting?
Well, once again, we're going to go to Interium, which is where we have our welcoming to do. We're doing the Stern tour again, but Stern has told us that they're going to offer some unique giveaways that they will only do at the tour. So
Oh,
what they
exciting.
have, yeah, what they have, I don't know, but I try to get it out of them. They wouldn't share with me. But I'm pulling some stuff off the website, which everyone is welcome to see. We're bringing back again Project Pinball, and all that money goes to charity. And we've got, I think there'll be either one or two games being their charity raffle. Plus, they're having another raffle there. They have about 30 baskets full of everything from A to Z. So it's really a lot of fun to check it out. Don's Pinball
Hmm.
Podcast. He is going to be hosting something, a top topper contest. So, anything, any more, the mods is a big thing no matter what you're into. And between Electric Playground and other guys are making mods, he wants to have a competition. The first time we've done it at Expo, so everyone will bring their mods to his booth and he'll have them on display and the public will vote. So that's
Nice.
going to be pretty crazy.
That'll be cool.
Tanner Walters will be back again. Tanner Walters he goes by the name of the Pinball Scientist. He's a school teacher, but what he's doing is he's having a showing the kids, more for the younger kids, how to build a pinball machine. But what's different this year is we have one of the toy manufacturers has a retail item build a pinball machine, and they use gumballs for the balls. But he's going to instruct the kids on how to build the pinball using this set of this toy that's available. So
Kids are gonna love that. And that's
yeah, it
good
should
for
be good.
families too, because people might not understand that Expo is very family friendly. It's not just a bunch of old drunken geezers, stumbling
There
around
you
playing
go.
pinball machines.
So that's going to be interesting. Something that just came through a couple of days ago. Your broadcast is the first I'm going to tell it to, but there's a company called I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but Cithara, Guitars. They're out of Canada. But these guys use discarded playfields to make electric guitars.
Oh, interesting. So like they're cutting up the
Crazy.
turning it into the body of the guitar. That's neat. I've
Unbelievable. So
never
these
heard of
guys
such a
are,
thing.
yeah, me either. So they're going to bring 8 different models to the show. And believe it or not, these guys made a guitar for Ed Robertson, Bare Naked Ladies. He's
That's
one of their
cool.
customers.
I'm sure he's a huge pinball fan, so that's
Guys, you
cool.
got to see this. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be running to the booth. This is just crazy. Another first for the expo is I have a guy that reached out to me from Hungary,
Hmm.
and he is a manufacturer of glass. And he is going to bring down a crate of playfield glass, both the non-glare as well as the standard glass, will be for sale at Expo.
Myself, I'm literally in the market for a couple sheets of that, and going to Expo, that's going to save me shipping, and I don't have to worry about FedEx or UPS, breaking it. So
So
I'm,
fingers crossed the pricing is going to be good enough that people are going to go crazy.
I hope so.
Yeah, that should be fun. Another first, there's a guy by the name of Mark that's coming from the Netherlands. This is crazy. And he goes by the name of Europin, but what he's doing is he's getting a rather large booth. He's bringing between 20 to 30 pinball machines that were made in Europe for the European market. So anyone that saw my display last year for my collection in the free play area, I had a lot of these oddball games, the games from Australia and Italy and Spain. This guy is bringing these games to Expo this year.
Nice.
So get your pocketbooks out. First of all, guys, you'll save on the shipping alone. I mean, whenever I brought these games over from Europe, I probably paid, well, to air freight them is crazy money,
Yeah.
but it's not cheap. But he'll
And
have them
even
at the show
container
for you.
prices these days are ridiculous. So yeah.
Yeah, so there's no shipping charge. Just pick up the game and smile all the way home.
And where else are you going to have an opportunity to buy these games? Because otherwise,
Never.
you'd have to get on the plane and jaunt across the pond for a long flight and arduous
Crazy.
journey for
You
sure.
got that. So also we're doing the 1930s tournament again. Were you involved with that at all? Did you see it last year?
I did see it last year. I didn't get to play in it, but I did get to see it. It was really cool.
So it was really cool. And Cliff out of Chicago and his wife Colleen have been very active in promoting the 30s. And it's so crazy because the first year they came to Expo with a couple of 30s games, people walked up to the booth, including myself, and said, "Oh, those are kind of cool." And I said, let's keep this thing going. So every year they kept bringing more and more games. Last year we had a massive booth. We had
Oh,
about
it was
30 games.
awesome. Yeah, I had like a makeshift speakeasy set up and everything. It was
You
really
got it,
cool. I
man.
loved
They were
it.
dressed up with
The Flapper
flappers
Girl.
out
Yeah.
there. Oh, it was crazy fun. So, anyways, they're doing that again, but only on a bigger scale.
Oh.
Plus, they're having a 1930s tournament. So, just to play this game, you kind of get hooked on it. You'll see, guys. You'll
Oh,
see.
absolutely. Because it's a whole nother skill set involved completely. Like you think you're good at pinball and you go play that and you're like, oh wow, this is a whole nother
It's really
world.
fun. So the homebrew is becoming back again, and along with the homebrew, I'm bringing back the mothership game that was
Nice.
about halfway built last year, but Ernie has helped me get it another step closer. So I always liked that Hercules pinball machine. It was made back in the 70s, and I always thought it'd be cool to have a same size game or larger built with today's technology and multi-ball. So can you imagine a multi-ball monster machine like that? So you're going to see it at Expo. It's up and running.
Oh, it's up
And
and running. Good. That was going to be one of my questions that I asked because I saw it at Expo last year and I was blown away. I mean, Brian Allen did the artwork. It looks fantastic.
yeah,
It's bigger than Hercules. It's one of those things you
it's
have to
bigger than
see to
Hercules,
believe it
guys.
because you take a picture of it and people don't really understand the scale. But it wasn't playable last year, but this year it is going to be playable.
Yes. So I
Awesome.
have an open challenge. My machine is now larger than Hercules. Who wants to beat me? Go on out there, you homebrew guys. Let's see if you can make one even bigger. Emoto Harney is very active with Marco, and she is working on a Marco booth, which this is a first too. So everyone put increase the volume on your headset. But several years ago, I saw Marco down at the Allentown show, and they had like they called a supermarket where they had parts of games and return product, and it was a mishmash of stuff they sold. It's like a scratch and dent sale, if you want to call
Hmm.
it that. So they're bringing that to Expo for the first time. Thank you, Emoto. I've been honored for years to do this, but on a much larger scale, and it'll be all kind of deals there, guys. So
That's
be
exciting,
prepared for
especially
that.
if you're a homebrew guy that maybe, looking for that oddball piece that you
Or
need to,
anybody,
or
there'll
yeah,
be
or anybody.
A to
Like,
Z. You don't know what they're going to have there. It's
mhm.
parts that discontinued, uh, overrun, whatever they've got. They're going to clean the shelves out. So
Yeah, find yourself
uh,
a deal.
yeah, I'm very happy about that. So uh, Emoto went one step further, and she got, which could be one of the largest booths in Pinball Expo history, a 70-foot by 80-foot booth.
Wow, that's
So
quite the showing.
Marco will be part of that. Homebrew will be part of that. And Aaron from Fast Pinball will have a little display there. But that one area alone is going to be worth spending some time on. I hope there's enough hours a day for everybody to see everything. And this year's uh, vendor hall will be perhaps even a bit larger than last year.
Oh,
So last year,
that's saying a lot because last year was huge.
yeah. So last year, we had the auction there, we had the band there, and I want to do some of these things because to celebrate the 40th. But the auction is most likely not going to happen this year, and neither is the band. So they took up so much room, but all that room is gone now, and it's going to be all pinball related vendors.
Good.
So you're going to see a lot of stuff, guys. It's going to blow your mind. We have Hexa coming. Hexa is one of the manufacturers from France,
Hmm.
and they will be coming and they'll be showing their games. So we'll have Alice of Wonderland will be there again, which is a fun game for those who saw it last year.
Yeah, that was a
We
big
also
to
have
do
an
at the show last year. There was lines galore for that one.
oh yeah. So there's something else I'm going to share with you guys. There's another manufacturer coming this year for the first time. It's called Wonderland, I believe. But they're out of they have locations in the West Coast and in the East Coast as well. But they're producing a Alice game as well. But their
Oh, that's
game
right.
is
They're the smaller home
yeah,
version. Yeah.
it's about a three-quarter size pinball machine.
Hmm.
So it's not a homebrew. These guys legit manufacturer, and I think these games are going to sell somewhere between $1,000 and $1,500. But the price is right. By
Yeah,
looking at
because I
the
remember
place
last
bill,
year, they just kind of showed up and said, "Hey, we have an idea," and here they are a year later with a finished product. So I'll be interested to see how that turned out
so
for them.
those games will be on the floor.
Okay.
Get ready. And the surprises are just not going to end. I mean, I can't tell you everything, and people won't, they won't come to the show. So I know it's going to be there. Why come? But we have the autograph session, which we always do, and we're doing the flip out tournament again, which we've done last year, and we have more tournaments for the kids so they can be involved. So, like you mentioned, and it's true, the show's become more and more family friendly.
Hmm.
I'll tell you what else I'm excited about is Pat Lawlor, who last year said this is his last hurrah. Uh, Basically, I asked him to do me one more favor. I said, Pat, as you offer so much. So Pat Lawlor is coming back, which could be the last time. And of course, those people that don't know Pat, he was Adam's Family is probably his most famous game, Twilight Zone, Whirlwind. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. But he's going to kind of give a talk about the history of Pat Lawlor and anyone who's everybody in the pinball industry or enthusiast that is coming to Expo. You've got to see this guy's seminar. Steve Ritchie now is coming back to speak. Now, unlike other seminars, most recently where he spoke about the games he did for Jersey Jack, this time he's going to speak about every game he built
Oh,
as a designer.
that's awesome. So open mic with Steve Ritchie.
That's a great title for that. In fact, I
Hmm.
should write that down. His first game was Airborne Adventures, and it's he's going to talk about that plus everything else he's done. So hold on, guys, because I love that title.
Yeah, that'll be a must see or must listen to for sure.
A lot of guys come just to play the machines.
Hmm.
Some people are like the seminars, but anyone that normally doesn't go to the seminars, do me a favor,
Check them out.
tell your wife, tell your bud, say, hey, Rob asked me to come. I told him I'd come. check this seminar out, guys. And just, you will be so impressed.
Absolutely. There's fact I was, perusing the schedule and I saw one that really piqued my interest. It was the early years of Data East and Sega with Joe Kaminkow and Gary Stern. And I was like, wow, first of all, you got Joe back at the event. How'd you get Joe
Good
back?
catch, buddy. So listen, I want you and everyone there in TV land to do me a favor, or YouTuber land, and do me a favor. If you're coming to this seminar, I want you guys to come up to see Joe Kaminkow and say, Joe, we thank you for coming to Expo. You make some great stuff. It's so great to see you. Kaminkow is probably one of my favorite speakers. He's a very dynamic guy. But he started with Data East, they went to Sega, and eventually he ended up in the slot machine industry. And that's where he made his even more claim to fame. But he was also the guy that created the Beatles pinball.
That's
Now,
right.
I don't know if he's going to talk about that. Maybe, Doug, if you're there, you can say, hey, Joe, tell us about the Beatles. He spent $1 million out of his own pocket to make the Beatles.
Yeah.
So, guys, Joe Kaminkow, these are guys you don't see every day. He doesn't come every year. I'm begging everyone here on Cool Toys Network to come there and see these guys. Another guy's coming back to the show. He was a vendor last year. Was Ivan Signani. He was the guy out of Italy that does
Oh, had the amazing like tricked out machines that were
the
gorgeous. Yeah.
greatest tricked out games you'll ever see in your life. This guy is over the top. For the guys listening in, at least some of the guys that are fashion kings, some of the nicest clothing comes out of Italy. And I guess this is the way these guys think or whatever. But I mean, his over the top restorations are just absolutely amazing. Guys, you got to see it. That's one thing nice about Expo. You'll see people and opportunities that you don't have any other show, because of years and years of knowing these guys and pushing the right buttons to get them to come. This is going to be some great times. I have a couple guys coming down from Mexico, and they're going to talk on the pinball scene in Mexico. It's crazy. So it's just interesting to hear from these guys. So he'll be there. We have a talk on the rise of AI in pinball art.
Oh, that is a very hot topic right
Oh
now.
man,
That'll
yeah,
that'll
AI,
sure
everything is a hot topic.
yeah, I'm sure that'll ruffle some feathers and pique some people's interest depending on how that conversation goes.
I guess what I'm waiting for is just a matter of time before someone gets my face and moves my mouth and hey, how you
Superimposes
doing?
everything. Yeah, we're
Well,
we're we're living in that world, unfortunately.
and then to end up the show Saturday night, we have again Dwight Sullivan's doing his "Let's Make a Deal."
I was
That's
there for last year's and it was an over the
crazy,
top fun experience.
and it's a great way to end the show. And Dwight has been a wonderful participant and being there for the show and sharing his wealth of information. So there's so much going on, guys. But just be ready not to sleep a lot and
Yeah.
be ready to meet a lot of people you've heard about and talk to maybe at times. But, the autograph session is also a great time to meet these guys and have them sign your favorite backlash or sign the back of your t-shirt.
Yeah. Bring comfortable
Whatever it
shoes
is.
because you're going to be out there all day, every day, enjoying yourself at Pinball Expo.
Even those that are contemplating, like, should I go? Should I not go? So much happens during that time period. It's like, if you missed it, you miss so much.
Absolutely. I'll be there every day. I know you will too. So definitely come seek us out if you're at the expo. Definitely recommend, playing a game with us.
Yeah, it'd be great to see everybody. And please come up to me and tell me how, more or less, how you much enjoy your expo. But also, what I want to hear from you guys is, okay, I took your word for it. I went up to Joe Kaminkow. I told how great he is. I told Steve Ritchie how great he is. I told Pat Lawlor how great he is. And then I'll be happy because it's hard to get these guys. Let's face it. I'm 70. These guys are probably close to that age, if not more. And it's harder. The get up and go has gone up and went. So
It's easy to want to stay at home. I get that completely. So I appreciate your efforts bringing these guys out, these legends of the industry for sure.
yeah, for sure. So, and there's more surprises, guys. So please make every effort to come, and I think you'll leave saying, "Man, this was definitely a show not to forget."
I can't wait for it. Rob, thank you again for sitting down and chatting with me and talking Expo. Like I said, I'm chomping at the bit to get there. We're
All
almost
right, buddy.
45 days away. Looking forward to going to see you, going to see a bunch of awesome games. Anything else you want to end with?
Well, the only thing I'd say is if anyone's got any games they want to bring to the show, that gives you free admission to the show. But we always look for people to bring games. So, by the end of the day, we'll probably be around 400 to 500 games. So it's to pay one price until you play till you drop is a pretty good deal for everybody.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more, guys. Definitely be there again, October 15th through 18th. Pinball Expo celebrating its 41st year. Thanks,
Still
Rob.
rocking, guys. Still going. I don't know how, but I'm still going.